Moving on, social media has seen a huge surge of activity in light of recent events in Palestine. Muslims and non-Muslims alike have taken to social media platforms such as X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and many others to voice their outrage and concern over the well-being of innocent civilian lives as the war rages on in the region. Which begs the question, does social media activism actually make a difference? Joining me to discuss this and much more, producer and journalist Arooj Fatima Malik. Assalamu alaikum, Arooj. First off, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I wanted to ask you essentially, social media has transformed the landscape of modern activism. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. Everyone that has social media now and is using it for activism, it has 1,000,000% helped change the game when it comes to activism.
Right. Okay, fantastic. So when it comes to, I guess, social media and being active, and we've seen a lot of, in history, we've seen a lot of activism on social media, and I talk about, for example, the Arab Spring, and everyone took to Twitter and Instagram, and it did make a change. So I'm going to ask, from your experience, does activism on social media have the power to make a change?
Yeah, it does. I'm not an activist. I do have a social media page in which I do speak about genocide, in particular Shia and Hazara genocide, but I don't classify myself as an activist, but I've been on social media for years, like 15, 16 years, to know how it can change the game for activism.
Right.
Your question was?
I mean, does it have the power to make a change?
Yeah, it does 100%. As I've seen in the years that go by, that when it comes to activism on social media, a lot of people have become informed about certain genocides, certain issues that are happening halfway across the world, where if I was just, watching the news, I probably wouldn't know about it, because it's media is very, they choose who they want to speak about, and sometimes certain atrocities happen in the world where the media can be biased towards the other party, or they won't speak about it at all.
So social media is impartial to that, because when you go onto
to an extent, sorry to cut you off, but to an extent, social media is impartial.
Why to an extent?
Because people can be selective in who they want to be active for.
Okay. Because the media, mainstream media, such as the news outlets, they obviously have an agenda. They not twist, but they'll use certain words to portray their point of view, although they try to be non-biased. However, on social media, you're saying that it's selective activism or selective biases?
Certain people or certain activists can be selective, I'm not saying everyone, I'm not painting everyone with the same brush, but there are pages or human rights activists that can be selective in who they want to speak out for.
Why do you think that's the case?
In my experience, obviously, like I said, I speak for Shia genocide and Hazara genocide particularly. I think when it comes to the overall Muslims, sometimes they choose to not acknowledge that Shias are getting killed, that it is a genocide. Or they don't see it as a genocide. Again, with the Hazaras, they won't see it as a genocide, but genocide essentially does mean when you're trying to wipe out a group of people due to their ethnical, religious, or nationality, you're completely trying to wipe them out. That's what genocide is, right? So some people don't classify certain atrocities or oppression as genocide.
Right. So what would be the, going back to social media activism, what would be the advantages and disadvantages of using that?
Advantages, 100%. You're informing people, you're educating people. Like with the recent Palestine and Israel, if it wasn't for social media and if it was just for the bigger news channels, everyone would think, that Palestine might be in the wrong, or that they're not the ones that are getting oppressed. But due to social media and seeing the videos that are coming in, the pictures that are coming in of the kids, literally bodies and bodies on top of each other, you kind of know who's getting oppressed and who's not. So it does inform people, educate people, and it raises so much awareness. It's unreal. Like, someone can post, there's a protest tomorrow. I may not know about it, but that thousands, it'll go viral if you use the right hashtags or whatever. It'll go viral instantly. So that's,
you mentioned hashtags. Do you know anything about, like, I guess I'm not going to say algorithms because I don't know anything about it, and I don't. Yeah, but do you know anything about, like, the use of hashtags, and you know, and recently we've been hearing people saying shadow bans and stuff like that. Can you tell us a bit more about that side?
So I know a bit about shadow banning.
Shadow bans, yeah.
Shadow bans. Because I got shadow banned in my genocide page. That was because I was speaking for Palestinians, and it got shadow banned.
What does that mean? Sorry, if you don't mind.
What I assume from it is, I mean, I don't exactly know the correct term, but what I assume it was, I've got like 1,436 followers or something like that. So it's not a lot compared to other people, but usually I would have like 800, 900 views on my stories. Yeah. Tell me why I was posting a story about Palestine, 9 views.
Really?
I was baffled. And then I got, when I went back onto that page, I got that I'm not allowed to post for 2 days because I was posting about Palestine.
So there was a notification telling you you're not allowed.
I got a notification saying you're not allowed, you've been banned from posting for about 2 days.
So they tell you and notify you that you.
Yeah, well, I did. I don't know how others move, or I know my stories wasn't getting enough views, and I was given a notification as soon as I came up, because I tried to post something else, and it came up that it's not going to let me.
Wow. So do you reckon there's going to be a balance on a crackdown on people posting about certain issues? Do you think, for example, anything on the other side, so Israeli posts and stuff like that, will that get shadow banned?
No. Oh my gosh, no. Their propaganda and their social media is out in full force. They're tweeting stuff that is relatable about celebrities. Like this morning, I saw on Twitter, or X, is it called X now? I'm
going to keep calling it Twitter.
I'm going to keep calling it Twitter as well. X isn't working for me. So I saw on Twitter that Israeli army, or Israeli whatever it was, tweeted something about Taylor Swift. Okay. And how a Taylor Swift bodyguard has gone back to fight for them. They're trying to be relatable to the younger lot, and so their social media is out in full force. Obviously, the other side of it.
I mean, sometimes their social media is wide off the mark. Yeah. But talking now about the underrepresented and the marginalized people. So it's just a bit of a long word. So how can social media be used to raise awareness about those who are not represented as well as other?
So I mean, I feel like I'm keep giving my own page a shout out, but I'm not actually. It's just I created that page in order to raise awareness. It got to a point where we were having so many cases of Hazara genocide, and for me, I feel like they're a minority within a minority. No one speaks out for them. It's only them that speak out for themselves. Yeah. I mean, just a week ago, I think it was, they had a bombing in a mosque. Yeah. Afghanistan's now faced 3 major earthquakes. On top of that, they've had a bombing in a mosque. Yeah. And that's kind of been up in the air. No one's really spoken about it. No one knows about it. It's kind of 1 second it was spoken about, and that's it. It's gone. Yeah. So my thing is with the social media that I just wanted to raise a lot of awareness for those people, and it does work. Okay. I've had messages from people, Hazara, non-Hazara, Shia, non-Shia, saying that, you know, we didn't know this, and thanks for sharing it and stuff. So it does make a difference. 100%.
Well, wishing you all the best. What is the actual page that you kept talking about?
Unspoken Genocide.
Unspoken Genocide, fantastic. So look out for Unspoken Genocide, dear brothers and sisters. Give it a follow, I guess, to be able to keep up to date with the latest that is going on for those who are underrepresented or marginalized. Arooj, Fatima, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.